Now I'll be demonstrating how to list your equipment as an owner. What this will do is it'll make your equipment available so that other people, other users of the website can rent the equipment that you list. So think of it as if you're selling a certain item, you can use this website to sell the item based on the price that you want to set that we'll be going over, and then other people can rent your item. So let's go over how to do that specifically. So what you would do is on the very top right, you see a button called List Your Equipment. Make sure you're logged in first, because if you're not logged in, this button will just take you to the login screen. So if you're logged in, you click on List Your Equipment, and the very first time that you want to list your equipment, if you have not listed any equipment before, you will be setting an approval policy. This approval policy will be applied to every equipment that you list, every new thing that you post, and it can be edited easily by clicking on your profile and then going down to approval policy. So let's create an approval policy. So there are two options. There's pickup or delivery. So this is how you know how would you actually provide your equipment. Pickup is if you want the renter to come to a certain location, and a delivery is when you want to deliver it to that location. So in the delivery, what you would do is you can charge for the delivery itself. There has to be a certain delivery fee because of the company policy. So the minimum is 100 in this case. So we choose 100 as the minimum delivery fee that you add. And for delivery distance, what you would do is you would put any amount that you want, or like how much are you okay with delivering? If I'm okay with delivering in maybe a 25-mile radius, I'll put 25 miles as the distance. Kilometers is not an option, but you can always convert a kilometer distance into miles, and you can use that value for the delivery distance. So here, we would charge the users $100 to rent an equipment with delivery service, and we can deliver up, and the owner of the equipment can deliver up to 25 miles of a radius. So operator services, with the next part, this is where if you're offering operator services, this is where you're also offering someone to actually drive the equipment or use the equipment. So like having an actual driver. So if you say yes, then you have to add an operator fee. Obviously, this cannot be zero because of the company policy. There needs to be a minimum. So you have to make sure that you put the amount that works with that minimum. And the maximum is also there because some operators or drivers might charge more or less, or might prefer to work for more or less than others. So for that reason, we want to set a range. So we're setting a maximum range over here. So let's just say 1,000 for maximum. So we went over the pickup and delivery options, the operator services, and then down here it's security deposit. So the security deposit needs to be it needs to be 500 at least. So fill in the security deposit with what you want it to be, whether it's at least 500. And then down here, this is the location where people can actually pick your equipment up. So I know that even if you choose delivery, pickup is still technically an option. So users can either pick your equipment up at the location you specify, or they can have it delivered. If you only have pickup as an option, then users must only pick up the equipment you're listing, and there's no way for you to deliver it to them. So because of that, let's use an address for the pickup. So for example, let me use the same address that I used previously. Lastly, on the approval policy, there are two ways to approve rental requests. An owner, so basically the way this works is the renter can request to rent a certain equipment, but the owner, which is like the point of view over here, this is the owner's point of view. The owner has to approve that. There can be reasons to deny that. Like for example, if the equipment is already in use, or the owner is on vacation, or other reasons, those are reasons you can deny any requests to actually rent your equipment. So you have to basically approve every single request. There are two ways to approve it. There is instant booking, which will automatically charge them. It'll charge them first a deposit, that you select. And then there's also manual booking, where it'll only charge them after you actually approve on your side. So the owner would, if for manual booking, the owner would approve on the owner's side, and then it will prompt the user to pay. Whereas in instant booking, it'll instantly prompt the user to pay, and then the booking request will happen after that. The approval will happen after that. So if you want to allow the user to request without paying anything first, then you can choose manual booking. But if you want to set a strict deposit, instant booking may be a better idea. After filling in the entire approval policy form, please click Save. After you've clicked Save, you'll be asked to actually tell us the equipment that you want to list. So just keep in mind, the next time you want to list equipment, you will not have to fill out the approval policy. The next time you want to list equipment, you will automatically come to this page. It'll skip the approval policy, and that can always be edited in your profile settings. So over here, you can either have a tractor or an attachment. So if you have a tractor, we can have a name for the tractor. And then we have the description. The description has to conform with the minimum character requirement. The manufacturers can be the ones that are available over here. So let's just say I have a Ford tractor. Then you can choose the model of tractors that are available that you're actually listing. So let's say I have a Ford 9N tractor and I want to list that 9N tractor. You have to also put specifications of the tractor so the renter will know the benefits. So for example, how much the horsepower is, I'll just put 100 in this case. What the year of the tractor is, so I'll just put, in this case, 2007. And what is the estimated market value? So this way, so the answer to this question would be, if you were to look at this tractor, how much would that tractor be sold for? Or how much did you buy the tractor for? Or how much is it a Ford 9N tractor sold for in other stores right now? So in this case, I'll just put 10,000. And then you continue. And then here you can put the features that are available on your tractor. So let's say we have a loader bucket, a 3-point lift, and power steering, but we don't have any of the other features. We can just leave them blank. So this will help users filter out tractors from what they require, from the features that they're looking for. Next, you have to upload at least 2 pictures and a maximum 6 pictures of the tractor that you are wanting to sell. So you can take pictures of that, and then you can upload here as JPG or PNG files. After you've uploaded the pictures, click on Continue. And now here for usage rates, you have 2 options. You can either allow unlimited usage, which is basically a flat rate that's already set for you, the renters would be charged that flat rate, or you can choose to charge by day, so that people who rent for longer periods of time, you'll get more money that way. So if you want to set your own rates, which will be like an additional cost per day, you can either have you can set a limit of the number of hours a person can actually use it per day. So let's say if you only allow the person to use it for 3 hours per day, you can note that over here. And there's an excess hour fee, meaning that if a person uses it for longer than that period, how much are you going to charge them? So let's say if the person wants to use it for 10 hours and not 3 hours, then I can charge them an extra $100 per each hour that's being used, and I'll earn more profit that way. But if you prefer a flat rate, you can always do allow unlimited usage, which does not have this dynamic pricing. Lastly, this is the actual flat rate that you'll be charging them. So this would be how much you're charging per day. So in this case, I'm just going to charge in this case, I'll just charge $100 per day. And what's the minimum rental length you're willing to accept? So I will set the minimal rental length in this case as 2, meaning this way the renter has to rent your equipment for a minimum 2 days. So that way you're guaranteed 2 days worth of pricing. When you're finished, click on Publish, and this will publish your listing, and it will be waiting for approval. However, there's also an option if you want to list an attachment instead. instead of a tractor. So if we go back to basic details and we click on attachment instead, then if you want to list an attachment or that's not a tractor, then in that case, you can choose the category of the attachment. In this case, I'll choose a planter and choose the type of planter that you're actually listing and enter the capacity and any other information that might be required. The image policy is still the same. You have to have at least 2 images and maximum 6 images uploaded. And the usage policy is still the same. You can either have the flat rate or you can set your own rate for if people are using it for too long. So just like how we discussed, and the pricing policy is still the same. So this is basically how you would list tractors or attachments. So at the end of the listing process, please click on publish. Then you should put your phone number in. After you've entered your phone number and the OTP, please click go to my listing. And you'll see here that your listing here is pending, which means it's waiting for approval. While it's pending, you can click on your listing and then you'll see all the information, like the images and the other pricing information down here, but you will not be able to edit this information until someone approves it. Someone has to approve every edit that you have made. So for that reason, you have to wait for approval. And after the approval is done, then you can edit the information. After you have listed equipment, you can view your listings by going to your dashboard. To go to your dashboard, click on your profile, and then you go to dashboard, which is the second option on the list. And over here, you will have some the summary, which is basically total bookings. So the number of people that have rented it in your past month, the pending request, the canceled request, as well as the confirmed request. I'll be going over each of these in the rental section, but you can always modify this date range. So let's say if you want to only look at people that have booked your equipment for the next 2 weeks. In that case, you can just easily change the dates to the next 2 weeks and apply the dates. If you click on each of these boxes, pending requests, this will take you to the rental history and will immediately show you the pending tab. Same for the canceled requests, as well as the confirmed requests when you click on the boxes. The rental history tab is just another way where you can see the pending, confirmed, and canceled requests, as well as the returned items. And this is just if someone has booked any of your equipment, it will show up over here. And once again, as I said previously, you can click on one of these boxes to get to that rental history. The third tab, My Listing, will show you the listings that you have created, even if no one has booked the listing yet. This will just show you your listing. By clicking on the listing, you can go to the details, and you'll be able to see whether it's pending, or it's approved, or it's declined. You can delete your listing easily by clicking the delete button. You'll see the type of your listing, tractor or attachment, over here. And lastly, you can also filter. So if I click on attachment here, you'll see that the listing is there because it is an attachment. But if I click on tractor, you'll see the listing is gone because I have not listed a tractor yet. If we click on the messages icon, this is where you'll be able to communicate with your renters or people that have requested to actually rent your equipment. Right now, there have been no requests yet, as this is just a test and this is the first listing that I've created and no one has actually rented it yet. But after people start to request rentals and they want to message you as the owner, then you will find those messages over here. Lastly, in the Documents tab, you can check the documents that you have used for the bookings. Right now, no one has rented the equipment, so there are no booking documents available. If your listing has been approved, then you'll get a notification saying your listing is approved. And you can see that by going into your dashboard and clicking on the My Listing tab. And then you'll see that the listing is approved because the status is published. You'll see the green status as published instead of pending. So because this listing is approved, you are able to edit the details. because it's approved. And editing the details will take you to the same page that you used when you were creating the listing. But keep in mind that when you're editing the details, and if you have made any edits to it, those edits need to be approved again. So then if you've edited some details, your listing will go back into the pending state that's awaiting approval. And after those edits have been approved, then your listing will be in the published state again.